controlled articular rotations. Okay guys, so I'm going to start with neck cars. So radiate through that body, core nice and tight, punch the floor so your shoulder blades are still, and chin down to your chest. I'm going to slowly follow the collarbone with the chin as you're turning your head. When you can't turn anymore, start to pull the back of the head backwards and the chin comes up to the sky. Once you find yourself in that middle position, you're going to turn to look over the opposite shoulder. Find that collarbone again with the chin and track all the way across in the same direction. Compensations to watch for this one are your shoulder blades creeping up into your ears. Make sure the arms stay nice and active, punching towards the floor. Or you might feel your weight shifting side to side or forwards and backwards. Especially as the chin comes up to the sky, make sure your hips don't move forwards. Slow and smooth. Any sharp twinges, avoid them in the circle. Do not grind through them enthusiastically. Do 2 reps in each direction. Thoracic spine. Again, irradiate through that whole body. Core nice and tight, especially the legs. Really squeeze the legs with this one. Hands across the body, pushing into your chest and collapse the rib cage forwards. We're going to start by rotating as far as we can in one direction. When you can't rotate anymore, open up as tall as you can. When you're as tall as possible, rotate all the way through to the opposite side without the pelvis moving at all, and then collapse all the way forwards. I'm going to repeat the pattern twice in each direction. The main compensation to watch for this one, guys, is your pelvis trying to move with you. So the aim is to squeeze the glutes, squeeze the quads, and keep those legs still. Pelvis is not allowed to move. Slow and smooth, twice in each direction. Scapula, shoulder blades. Chest up nice and tall, irradiate through that body, core tight, arms shoulder height and out straight. Do not bend the elbows. So pull the shoulders up into the ears, drive as far backwards as they'll go, slot down in that back pocket, and then drive the fist forwards. All the way up, all the way back, all the way down, and then drive the fist forwards. Slow and smooth, try and feel out all 4 corners and smooth them out as you go. Stay nice and active, do not bend the elbows and keep the head nice and still for me. Go twice in each direction. Shoulders. Chest up nice and tall, core tight, irradiate through that body, drive down with the opposite arm as you find the top position with 1. Once in the top position, you're going to internally rotate the arm as you pull it behind you. Try and draw the biggest circle you can possibly draw. And all the way back to that start position, and then reverse. Externally rotate the arm, all the way back up to that top position, and then reset all the way down. When you're finding that top position, try and keep that shoulder blade retracted. Don't creep all the way up into the ear. Again, internally rotate as you pull the arm behind you. Find your end range. Then as you reverse, externally rotate all the way back to the top. You can do 2 on each arm for me, guys. Compensations to watch for is your whole body rotating and turning to try and make the shoulder seem more impressive than it is. We're going for an honest shoulder circle here, so keep that torso facing forwards. And do not bend the elbow. Twice on each side, slow and smooth. To ensure you're following the correct shape, focus on the bicep. Internally rotate the shoulder, means twist the bicep in and underneath as you're pulling the arm behind you. And externally rotate the shoulder, means twist the bicep out as it comes back around. Elbows. Keeping the biceps still and the body irradiated, feel out the 4 corners of the elbow. Starting with that rotation in the elbow, I'm going to roll in, pull up, roll out, and then extend. So there's both a rotation and a hinge within your elbow. Go twice in each direction. Biggest compensation to watch for here, guys, is the bicep trying to join in and essentially the shoulder trying to help. So keep that bicep still, body really strong and irradiated throughout. Wrists. So arm at 90-degree angle, radiate for that body, core tight, palm up. So we're trying to draw the biggest circle we can draw, making sure you're just using the wrist. Okay, so the palm's going to be facing up the whole time. So we're going to go for thumb wide, fingers down, pinky in, and fingers up. Try and keep the hand as flat as you can for the whole circle. The biggest compensation to watch for here is your elbow. So make sure you're not rolling in from the elbow and your palm is always facing the sky. Good way to check is to hold on to your forearm with the opposite arm to keep everything nice and tight to stop that coupling. You can do slow and smooth, 2 circles in each direction per hand. Hips. Radiate through that body, core nice and tight. One hand on something for balance. This is not a balance exercise. Knee up as tall as you can get it. Slowly open the hip without moving the pelvis. When the knee can't go any wider, start to pull the heel up as if it's being pulled up by a piece of string. When you can't go any higher, drive the knee back so you're underneath you. And then you're going to retrace your steps as if you're hurdling over a wall. Super slow and smooth. Swoop the foot back underneath you as late as you possibly can. So you're going to open the knee first, pull that foot up, drive the knee behind you until it's in full hip extension, and then retrace your steps as if you're hurdling over a wall. Compensations to watch for this one, guys, there's quite a few. So I want to keep that torso up nice and tall for me. Core really tight, so the upper body isn't moving at all. And your pelvis, try and keep it pointing forwards the whole time. Try and avoid any rotation, any coupling, anything that's going to make the circle easier for the hip. You want just that one hip working. Slow and smooth, 2 reps per leg. Spine. Okay, so down on all fours, hands beneath your shoulders, knees beneath your hips. Just want you to flex the spine up and down using your head and pelvis as the control. So just get used to that pattern for a few seconds. Then we're going to pick one of the extremes of the movement. I'm going to pause, and now we're going to segmentally work our way all the way down the spine like a wave. So we're trying to go one vertebra at a time. So I've started from my lower back here, tucking the pelvis, focusing on that one spot, going all the way up my back nice and slow until the very last thing I do here is tuck my head. Doesn't matter which direction you start from, so I'm going to start from the head. So I'm going to drive that chin to the sky, pull that chest all the way through. You just feel those vertebrae working all the way down the back with as much control as you can. The slower you do this drill, the better. So the slower you do it, the more control you'll find you have. So do not rush it, guys. Take your time, with as much focus as you can. Lead 2 waves starting from the pelvis and then 2 waves starting from the head. Patella, or kneecap. So I'm going to start, I'm going to shake the quad off a little bit, make sure it's nice and relaxed. And just push your kneecap from side to side a few times, make sure it's moving freely. Forwards and back a few times, again make sure it's moving freely. And then with 2 thumbs you can apply a nice even, reasonably strong pressure. You're going to make a circle around that kneecap, okay, and try and get it as smooth as you can. Just trying to see if you can draw a circle yourself with your kneecap. Slow and smooth, you can do 2 circles in each direction per leg. This is the only passive part of the card sequence, but still important. The patella should glide completely uninhibited. If you find a restriction, work into that spot. Knees. Okay, so grab the thigh and hold it tight. The knee, in addition to the obvious hinge, also has a rotation in it, your tibial rotation. So have a little play with that first, and then start to feel out the 4 corners of the circle. In, up, out, down. Feel out those 4 corners and then do 2 circles in each direction. The biggest compensation to watch for here is the hip trying to help. Keep that thigh still. We want total joint independence, just the knee joint. Ankles. Okay, now to isolate just the ankle, making sure the shin bone does not move. Draw the biggest circle you can draw with the ankle. Try and avoid leading the movement with the toes. Try and consciously make sure the ankle is what's doing the work. Stay irradiated, stay strong. Slow and smooth, feel out all the corners, twice in each direction. Toes. Keeping the foot grounded throughout, hold the 4 small toes down and lift the big toe up for 10 reps. Just the big toe, guys. This is a game of joint independence, when the other toe's holding the floor as only the big toe moves. Now ground the big toe and raise the small toes for 10 reps. And now all the toes up, big toe down, 10 reps. Keep the rest of the foot flat throughout. And finally, all the toes up, small toes down, 10 reps.